All right, I'm here with Sarah Kaufman, who of course is coming off her big title win in Invicta FC, but she's here in Calgary tonight at UFC on Fox 30. First off, just your thoughts on the card tonight. Pretty amazing event here in Calgary.
It was a great event, and I know UFC in Canada has always tried to put on good cards, and a lot of times they've fallen through and haven't ended up with the cards that they're supposed to have. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this is redemption for every Canadian card that has ever happened. It was amazing, top to bottom, just really good fights, really good matchmaking, and really exciting fights for the crowd.
A little bit weird being here as a fan. I know you fought in Montreal, you fought on a couple of cards in Canada. Was it a little bit different, or do you like this? Not having to worry about all the stress of fight week and everything.
I love fight week because it means I'm fighting.
Right.
And that's like my favorite thing in the whole world.
Yeah.
But that being said, I really enjoy being here for the fans. I had great seats. I actually got to sit with Matt Hughes and BJ Penn and
nice.
Khabib and Landon Venato. Like, there were just so many really great people that I was sitting around. And then the crowd. I mean, that's what kind of gets us popular. That's what keeps the sport going, are the fans. And so the Calgary and Canadian fans have always had my back. And so I love giving back to them and taking the time to talk and photos and try not to hug too many of them because I don't like it.
Fair enough. How did you end up here though? Did you drive or did you take a flight? How did you get down here?
I flew out. Actually, one of my sponsors, Gilmore Plumbing, they helped me get here for the fights, which was great. And then UFC supplied me with tickets, so it was really nice to be able to get here, fly out, spend the day. Went to Petapalooza. Saw the really
I heard
cute
about
dogs.
that. Pretty exciting stuff, yeah.
Yeah, the wiener races were so cute.
So the UFC gave you tickets, so there is some dialogue with the UFC, I imagine, because I'm sure they're keeping their eye on you. You're in Invicta, there's that relationship there. What is the latest on that? And I know you have new management as well, so with Sucker Punch, which I'm sure is really great to have too.
It's been great, and so the team at Sucker Punch has been contacting UFC. There's been lots of back and forth. Nothing's come to fruition yet, but I'm staying ready. I'd like them to book more bantamweight fights so that when someone comes out, I'm the first person to step in. I'm always getting better in the gym, so even if you don't see me in the cage, I'm getting better every day and making myself more dangerous as a fighter, which in turn doesn't help me because people already say no to fighting me.
Right. So the second they announce a bantamweight fight for either Moncton or Toronto, I'm guessing you're really going to stay ready for that just in case, because I would imagine you'd want to be on a Canadian card.
I want to be the Canadian that's on the Moncton card at bantamweight for sure.
Okay.
In the past, people have called me the Queen of Canada for MMA, and I never really wanted that title. And now I feel like I've matured and I've kind of grown into that title, and 100%. I want to be that for the Canadian fans. I want to be the Queen of MMA, and I want everyone to know that. One
of the other things you're great at is being a coach, and this is something you and I have talked about in interviews, and I know your gym right now, a lot is going on. First off, Dustin Johansson was supposed to fight at BFL. I know he had that injury. What's the latest on him? When's he looking to get back in the cage?
Dustin's been back training, so he's looking pretty good now. He had some issues going on with his injuries, but it seems like those have resolved, and he's definitely looking forward to getting back in there. I mean, I see in 2 fights Dustin should be in the UFC. Yeah. He's a heavyweight that's fast. He's agile. It's crazy. The stuff that he can do for a guy who's 245 pounds is incredible, and the UFC needs to be having him on their roster.
What about Tyler Dolby? What's the latest on him? I know there's some talks with BFL. Is there anything happening with him right now?
Tyler actually had a pretty bad injury, so he's out for the next little bit while he recovers from that. But he's really positive, and he's been doing his rehab, and it's been coming along. So it was really unfortunate that it was something that he wasn't even in contact when his injury happened, but he's coming back from it, and he'll probably be fighting for that title soon.
And someone I know you're really close to, the guy I was calling the Canadian Stephen Wonderboy Thompson because he's so polite, Alexis Yurio retiring recently. Was this something you expected, or was this kind of coming out of the blue a little bit? I know he had some injuries, but did you expect retirement as young as he is?
I did a little bit. I think that Alexi was really ready to make it to the UFC, and the UFC is where the best people in the world are, and he wanted to be in that group. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, he suffered kind of a lingering injury and wasn't really able to come back from it, and I think made the decision that if you're not going to do this 100%, you shouldn't do it at all, and that's the smart decision for him right now.
For sure. Now, as far as what he's doing now, is he still involved with the gym, or is he doing his own thing now? What's the latest with him?
Yeah, he's still at the gym. He's still supportive. He's always asking me about fights. Mm-hmm. When I came out for the Calgary fights here, he said, "What's going on?" I said, "Look, I'm going there to get myself a fight, and so I wanted to come out here and make sure that I saw the fans, interacted with everyone at the UFC, and I'm a company person. I'm a team player. I want what's best for the company, and I think I am the best thing for the UFC.
And last question for you here. You're obviously the Invicta champ. How do you feel like you stack up against the bantamweight division? Because it's a lot different than when you were, a bantamweight in the UFC. It seems like it's kind of going through a transition period.
Yeah, definitely going through a transition period. As I say, the UFC is the best fighters in the world. I am one of the best fighters in the world. The media knows it, the fans know it, the UFC knows it, and so they need to definitely bring me back. They need people in the bantamweight division, they need exciting matchups, and I'm the person to bring that.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for the time, Sarah. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thanks.